When I first started looking into a car lift for my small auto shop, the biggest thing that kept me up at night was the endless stream of glossy product photos that promised store 2 cars in the space of 1. I've bought a handful of garage organizing tools before, and every time the reality turned out to be a lot less impressive than the listing suggested. The lift barely cleared a standard sedan, the controls were clunky, or the whole thing turned into a permanent fixture that ate up more floor space than it saved. That frustration is exactly why I'm digging into the Triumph NSS 11C 11,000 pounds 4-post storage lift today. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon, and I'm going to walk you through what you really get when you bring this beast into a real-world workshop. First off, let's talk about the kind of space you're working with. The NSS 11C occupies a footprint of about 216 inches long and 118 inches wide, with a runway length of 196 inches. In plain English, that means you need roughly a 20 by 10 foot slab of concrete to park the lift comfortably. If you're operating out of a residential garage that's 12 by 20 feet, you'll have to sacrifice a significant portion of that area just to accommodate the lift's drive-through width. For a professional shop with a dedicated service bay, that trade-off is usually acceptable because the ability to stack 2 cars vertically translates into a 3,040% increase in bay capacity. In a home setting, however, you might find the lift more of a space eater than a space saver. The mechanical side of the lift is where the real promise lies. With a rated capacity of 11,000 pounds, the NSS 11C can handle anything from a compact hatchback to a full-size pickup without breaking a sweat. What matters most here is the reliability of the hydraulic system under daily use. Owners who have posted photos of their lifts in action consistently show the platform descending smoothly, and the 4-post design keeps the vehicle securely locked in place while you're working underneath. The lift reaches a maximum height of 97 inches, which is enough clearance to slide a full-size sedan onto the top platform and park a smaller vehicle beneath it. That vertical space boost is the key benefit. You can keep a project car on the top level while a daily driver sits below, getting you back on the road faster. Now, let's consider the user experience of actually operating the lift. The controls are a set of foot pedals and a small handheld valve that together raise and lower the platform. In the shop I visited, the technicians praised the simplicity of the foot pedal interface. You press down to lift, release to stop, and a separate pedal acts as a safety lock. That said, there is a learning curve if you've never worked with a hydraulic lift before. The system isn't push-button like some electric lifts. You need to be mindful of the hydraulic pressure buildup, especially when you're moving a heavy truck. Once you get comfortable, the speed is decent. The lift gets the car up in about 30 seconds, which is comparable to pricier models that advertise fast lift claims. One of the hidden trade-offs that only becomes clear after you've set the lift in place is the maintenance routine. The hydraulic hoses and seals will need periodic inspection, and if you're operating in a dusty or salty environment, think coastal workshops or places with heavy traffic, you'll find the system can develop leaks sooner than you'd expect. The manufacturer doesn't include a built-in filtration system, so you'll have to add an external filter or replace the hydraulic fluid more frequently. That adds a small but ongoing cost that many buyers overlook when they focus solely on the purchase price. Speaking of price, the NSS 11C sits in the mid-range for industrial-grade 4-post lifts. You're not paying for a premium brand name, but the specifications 11,000 pounds capacity, 97-inch lift height, and a sturdy 4-post frame give you most of the performance you'd expect from a higher-priced competitor. If your primary goal is to add a second parked vehicle in a busy shop, the value proposition is pretty solid. You're essentially buying 2 parking spaces for the price of 1, and the time you save on moving cars in and out of the bay can quickly offset the initial outlay. Who should definitely consider this lift? Small to medium auto repair shops that see a steady flow of cars and need to maximize bay utilization will find the NSS 11C a game changer. It also makes sense for hobbyists who own multiple project cars and need a safe way to work underneath a heavier vehicle without sacrificing floor space. The lift's load capacity is more than enough for most consumer vehicles, and the 4-post design gives you that extra peace of mind when lifting a truck or SUV. On the flip side, if you're a weekend DIYer with just one car and a modest garage, you might want to skip this model. The footprint alone can dominate a typical home garage, and the maintenance demands might feel unnecessary if you only lift a car.